안녕하십니까.
Hello everyone, good morning.
1717차
It's 1717th weekend workshop. All those who are here, I welcome you and I congratulate you.
오늘은
Today,
인생을 어떻게 살아야 할 것인가
I'd like to talk about how we should live our lives.
제목으로
With that title,
드리도록 하겠습니다.
I'd like to give this message.
어머님께서 서울 구치소에 들어간 지 벌써 132일째가
It's already been 132 days since your mother has been detained.
정말로 어머님께서 한 일주일이면 금방 나오지 않을 건가.
We all thought
기대를 했지만
I expected that your mother would come out a week when when first she was detained, but now it's reached 132 days.
일들이 지금 현재 일어나고 있습니다.
Very unfortunate things are happening.
작년에 11월 21일
Last year,
신출님께서 이렇게
November
말씀하셨습니다.
21st, 신철님 said this: Our church is currently facing its greatest ordeal. Because of this, I believe we are undergoing our deepest period of reflection.
말씀하시면서 굉장한 신출님의 가슴 아픈 이야기를 한 기억이 나게 됩니다.
We heard his heartfelt words with a painful heart. Your mother being detained was something out of our imagination.
그래서 우리 모두는 지금 어머님의 해방과 석방을 위해서
So we are all for true mother's release. With all of our hearts, with all of our bodies, I believe we are praying earnestly.
기도를 어느 때 봐도 가일차게 정말 목숨 걸고
We're truly offering
드리고 있는 걸로 알고 있습니다.
천심원 prayer with
이런 참
our
엄중한
lives.
시대에 우리가 어떻게 살아야 되느냐?
So in this
어떻게 살아야지
time, how should we live?
잘 살았다고 말할 수 있을까?
How do we live to say that we truly lived good lives?
철학자, 종교가이며 수학자였던 피타고라스는 이렇게 말을 했습니다. 이 세상에 제일 중요한 일이 무엇이냐? 그것은
Pythagoras, the Greek mathematician and philosopher and religious figure, once asked, "What is the most important thing in this world?" He answered, "Teaching people how they ought to live their lives."
우리는 참 부모님을 통해서 인생을 어떻게
Through true parents, we have been taught so clearly how to live our lives.
참 부모님께서 가르쳐 준 내용 보면은
If we see what they taught us,
여러 가지 내용들이 많이 있지만은
of course, there are many things they taught us,
나를 중심 삼고 살아서는 안 된다.
but the core is to not live centered on the self,
남을 위해서 살아야 된다.
but you must live for others.
여러분 부인은 남편을 위해 살고 남편은
The wife lives for the husband, and the husband must live for the wife.
자식을 위해 살고
The parents live for the children, and the children must live for the parents.
내 가정은 이웃 가정을 위해 살아야 되고
My family must live for the neighbor's family, and the neighbor's family must live for my family.
이와여 사는 것입니다.
In other words, it's living for others.
가장 핵심 중에 핵심이 무엇이냐?
What is the core of our teaching, of our church? It is true love. And this true love,
사는 것입니다.
in other words,
나를 위해서 살아.
it's living for others. Living for myself? No. But living for others.
할렐루야.
Hallelujah.
할렐루야.
Hallelujah.
꼭 두 번 이야기해야 되죠.
I have to do it twice, huh?
참 사랑은 어디서부터 출발하느냐? 그러면 남을
Where does true love begin? It begins
가장 테마의 참 사랑은 어디서
where does this theme of true love truly begin? In True Father's words, it says true parents
하나님으로부터 출발한다.
begins and starts with heavenly
그렇기
parents.
때문에 참 사랑을 알려면은 하나님을 모르고는
So, to know true love,
할 수가 없다.
you cannot explain true love without knowing heavenly parents. You cannot know heavenly parent without true love.
하늘 부모님의 우리가 한마디로 하늘 부모님을 상징할 때
So when we
사랑의 하늘 부모님
call heavenly parents, we say
이렇게
heavenly parent of love.
이야기를 합니다. 사랑이라고 하는 그
We
말
put that as the
자체가
premise.
조금 전에 제가
The love,
말씀드린
true love,
나를 위해서 사는 것은 사랑이 아닙니다.
So living for oneself, that is not love.
나를 위해서 사는 것은 개인주의,
Living for oneself
이기주의, 공산주의보다 더 무서운 것이 이기주의입니다. 지금 현재 자유세계, 민주세계, 민주주의 세계에서는 개인주의, 이기주의가 팽배되어 있습니다.
is egoism, and egoism is even more scarier than communism.
민주주의,
So
이
communism,
반드시
democracy.
끝이 나게 되어 있습니다. 왜?
these isms
민주주의도 자기만을 생각합니다.
will eventually come to an end.
자기만로
So
고집니다.
egoism and communism all think of the self.
끝이 있게 되어 있습니다.
So they come to an end eventually.
할렐루야.
Hallelujah.
사랑이 무엇이냐?
So what is love?
참 사랑이 무엇이냐? 바로
What is true love?
상대를 위해서 사는 게 참
It is
사랑이다.
living
우리가 얼마나 이 말을 많이
for others. How many times have we heard this?
아무리 가르치고
No matter how many times we teach it,
남을 위해서 내가 100%잘 살아왔다고 하는 사람 손 한번 들어보세요.
can you raise your hand, those who think you lived your life
이렇게
fully
말하면 안 되죠?
for the sake of others?
정말로 이 말씀이 얼마나 소중한 말씀이냐?
So how significant and profound these words are. To live for the sake of others. This is the principles of heaven.
테마 중에 하나가
The most important themes of this life
살아야 된다.
is to live for others, not yourself.
그 보여준 분이 하늘 부모님이십니다.
And it's heavenly parents who've shown us
하늘
the model of that.
처음부터 끝까지
Heavenly parent, from beginning to the end, never lived for himself, but lived for others. for the partner.
신자로 오신 분이 인류의 참 부모님. 우리가 만나서 축복받고 지금 현재
And the representative of Heavenly Parent came as true parents.
부모님 대신으로 모시고 있는 것입니다.
And we are attending Heavenly True Parents
하늘 부모님이 누구냐?
who represents Heavenly Parent. So, who is Heavenly Parents? In the 천성경,
부모님은
True Father says,
생명의 원천이요.
He is the source of life, He is the source of happiness, and He is the source of peace.
하늘 부모님의 사랑은 생명과 행복.
God's love can be described as the love of a parent.
이 생명 소중한 생명. 이
So this
소중한
life,
원하는 행복.
the happiness we desire, and the peace,
이 모든 것이
all this,
부모님을 알지 아니하고서는
all this
행복도 평화도 올 수 없다 그 말입니다.
cannot come without knowing Heavenly Parents. Haju, hallelujah.
세상에서 하늘 부모님을 모르고
The world not knowing Heavenly Parents, they're seeking peace and happiness. This, it can't happen. So everything's beginning.
부터 출발합니다.
Everything starts with Heavenly Parents.
한마디로 말해서 하나님의 사랑을 표현하면
In other words,
부모의 사랑이요. 부부의
the love of God is the love of a parent, the love of husband and wife, love of children, love of siblings.
합친 게
These
하늘 부모님의 사랑이다.
four love
그러니 이 네 가지
together is Heavenly Parents' love.
제대로 못한다 그 말은
So us not being able to practice this love properly
모르고 있다.
means we are ignorant or we do not know Heavenly Parents' love properly. When we establish our families,
부부의 사랑, 자녀의 사랑,
we have
형제의 사랑.
couples love, parents love, children's love, and siblings love. Mastering this is not easy. It's not simple.
부모는 그래도 자식한테 아낌없이 준 쉽게 말해서 상대를 위해서 100%
Parents,
헌신한다고 볼 수가 있습니다.
we can say that they're sacrificing their entire selves for their children. But when we look at couples,
부족한 많죠.
they have many shortcomings.
형제는 어떻습니까?
And what about siblings? Love between siblings, they always fight.
자녀의 사랑
Love of children,
우리가 반성할 내용들이 많이 있는 것입니다.
there are many things we have to
이
reflect on.
사랑이라고 하는 단어는
The word love is very fun,
잘
E,
알고 있는 이야기지만은
and you may all know, but if you begin to love,
상대방을 사랑하고 싶다라고 생각하면 그때부터
when you think, oh, I want to love someone else, then the interesting thing here is
주고 싶어.
you want to give everything you have. Hallelujah.
아직도 내가 살아가고 있는 남편에게
to my loving wife or to my loving husband, you're not giving all you want to keep stuff for yourself, then you're not truly loving your husband. Same goes for the husband to the wife. The husband is not investing his entire self, is not giving all he has. This is not knowing Heavenly Parents' love. Heavenly Parents, when He created us, the children, 100%, He invested everything He had. You too, what you have, to those who love, you have to have the desire to give everything you have. Hallelujah. So, when a man loves a woman, the man wants to give everything he has. And when the woman loves a man, the woman, whether she has money or honor, she wants to give everything to the man. And we talk of love, of true love, and Heavenly Parents' love, and true parents' love. Yet, we are yet to put it into practice. That is why faith is important. Through faith, it is always emphasized, this love. What is the center of this universe? In this vast universe, what is the center? If we see True Father's words, it is humans, beings, who are the center of this universe. So what is the center of humans? There are those who die and there are those who are alive. So, True Father said that the center of the human is life. And so people who have life, they are human, and people who do not have life, they are not human. So people who just live a meaningless life, we don't say that he is a human. He's the same as an animal. Even animals eat 3 meals a day. So what is the center of humans? It's life. And what is the center of life? It is love. The life you have, a life without love is not a life. But the most important thing, where does this love come from? It comes from the object partner. Isn't that true? That is what Heavenly Parent made. So, its love manifests itself from the object partner. So, the center of this universe is human beings, and the center of human beings is life, and the center of life is love. And what brings about that love is the object partner. It is. So how precious is the wife in front of you or husband in front of you? Don't ignore your husband. Don't ignore your wife. I think my wife is here, but I can't see her. I don't see her. Can you raise your hand? In this line, she's in the very back, so I couldn't see her. I can't see my daughter either. If they're over there, it's easy to see. I, with Heavenly Parents' principle, for my loving wife, for my loving son and daughter, I am trying to invest everything and give everything I have. So, what is true love? It is more important than life itself. True love is more important than life, and Heavenly Parent and true parents, it says, love makes them unable to move. True love makes our true parents and heavenly parents not able to move. It is not money, it ain't houses. So true love has this immense power. It's pretty scary. So world peace comes about with true love, not authority or money. So children made through true love, they are alive beyond the value of love. That is why parents will risk their lives for the children. But our children, they are unable to experience true love. And that is why filial piety towards the parents is difficult. And if the children want to offer filial piety, how do they do it? It's very simple. How do they do it? They should get married. They should get married and bear children and raise them and clean the pee and poop, and feeling that pain and truly understand, my father and mother struggled so much raising me. So true love is learned through experience. That is why diamonds aren't more important. Money is not what is important. Gold, silver, that's not what is important. So those may say, living my life, money is the best, and diamond, how precious are they? I believe there may be those who say this as well. But Heavenly Parent taught us this. And the best crystallization of this, Heavenly Parent, His greatest gift to this world, is our true parents. Hallelujah. Our true parents came to this earth, and like I said earlier, taught us the way of Heavenly Parents. True parents experienced and put all this into practice and proclaimed that Heavenly Parent is this being. He is the source of love, He is the source of life, and He is the source of peace. It's our true parents who taught us this. So, who are true parents? Although we may know, I'd like to emphasize again. True parents are our eternal truth, love, and source of the word. Jesus said, I'm the way, I'm the life, and I am the truth. It's the same. True parents are our way, truth, and life, and they are our source of love. Because they were the representative of Heavenly Parents, true parents are the visible Heavenly Parent. So, don't think, because they look like us, are they truly the visible or the real Heavenly Parents? So our heavenly true parents, how precious they are. So I told you before, the greatest gift that Heavenly Parent has given to human history is not diamonds or rare metals. For 6,000 years, the children who lost our parents, we lived like orphans. So Heavenly Parent gave humanity parents. That is why we say that they're the parents of humankind. They gave us true parents. So what is the wish of humankind? It is to attend our true parents. This is paramount. So through the true parents, we were chosen, and to be born as children, we have to receive the blessing. Without receiving the blessing, we cannot be reborn as the children. Right now, Korea, Japan, in this world we have about 8 billion people. Even if we have 8 billion people on this earth, You cannot become true children of Heavenly Parent without receiving the blessing. Who are these people? They are still people within the governance of Satan. You here, you became children of Heavenly Parent and true parents through what? Through the blessing. So what is the wish of humankind? Of course, meeting true parents, that is our wish. But meeting our parents and getting the blessing, we have to change our lineage from Satan's lineage to Heavenly Parent's lineage. How precious is this? So you have succeeded. You are happy people. So what is the greatest religion of all? So true father said, the religion of parents is the greatest religion in this world. Only our church has true parents. No other religion has parents. They all say leader instead. So we met true parents, and should we just live the way we lived in the past? Is it okay if we live the way the world lives, to desire things that the world desires? We should do what heaven wants and heaven desires. Shouldn't we want what heaven desires as well? Why do humans live? And why do we have to die? And where are we headed? If you don't know these goals or these purposes, then there's no value or meaning to life. As soon as a human is born, of course, you have to have 3 meals a day because you have to grow your physical body. So when feeding your children, people often say that the most important thing is money. So to make money, there are those who put their life on the line. Yes, money is important. I don't say money, we don't need it. Money is important. It's very precious. And there are those who want to achieve success through money. But those who live lives of faith, almost no one says that money is our ultimate goal. While humans live, what are the values of human beings? Do I really have to risk my life for money? Or for honor, do I have to risk my life? Not exactly. So money is important, but it's not important enough to risk your life on. So we don't just live, but it's important to live right. The principle, if heaven chooses the principle, has a principle, living in accordance to that principle is important. So many righteous people, we learn from them. Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, they had no interest in money. So even a few thousand years, the 4 holy beings, we must learn from them. And even years have passed, we're still not putting what they have taught us into practice. So people with a clear purpose, a clear goal, we see that those people are living correctly. Nowadays, people ask, how much money you have made, how many houses you have. Coming to Korea, it's been about 2 years since I came back from Japan. When Korean people meet or gather, I don't think they did this 20, 30 years ago when I was in Korea, but when they gather, they would ask, do you have a house or not? Do you own a home? Do you have 1 house or 2 houses? 3 or 4? How much money do you have?
정도로 그런 내용을 너무 이야기를 많이 하더라고요.
They would just talk about that stuff
그러니까
on and
자동적으로
on.
그들과 함께 할
So,
수가 없게 되더라고요.
automatically, I
많은
came
아저씨들 집이 없잖아요.
not
그래서
to
집 이야기를 하면 괜히 그냥
go along with them
따돌림을 당한 느낌이고
because I myself don't have a house.
분위기가 아닌 것 같아요.
And it just feels like the wrong atmosphere for me to be in.
이게 왜 이렇게 한국이 이렇게까지 되었나?
So I would ask, why did Korea reach such a point? So I have a very
신앙하는 사람에게 묻습니다.
sort of sorrowful heart.
여러분에게 묻습니다.
I want to ask you, those who live life of faith,
더 사기를 위해서 신앙합니까?
do you live your life of faith to buy one or two houses?
벌기 위해서 신앙합니까?
Do you live a life of faith to make more money?
우리 교회는 그렇지 않습니다.
Not our
오히려
church.
가진 돈을 헌금을 더 많이 해서 부모님을 위해서
The money we make, the more we make, we donate more for
팔아가면서
world peace. You can also donate selling your own home. We try to offer everything to heaven,
우리를 속아서
but the world,
우리를
conversely,
자기 것으로 만들고 있습니다.
they want to trick us to make
반대인 것입니다. 방향이
for their own personal gain. The way of life is a polar opposite to what we live for,
중요합니다.
our purpose of life.
엄청나게 방향이 중요해요.
In life, direction is truly important. Where am I heading?
여러분 차를 다 가지고 계시죠?
Nowadays, you all have cars, right? You all have navigation systems in that car.
사람이요. 내비게이션을 딱 타자마자 목적지를 딱 넣습니다.
Some people, when they go in the car, they
잘못 연 거예요.
set the navigation, but they made a mistake.
강주, 전라남도 강주를 넣어야 되는데
They're going to go to Jeollanam to Gwangju,
경기도 강주를 연 거야.
but they set it to Gyeonggi-do Gwangju.
이 차는요. 강주라고 요즘에는 그냥 가장 가까운
This car,
곳이잖아요.
when you just type in Gwangju, it goes to the closest Gwangju. But I have to go to Jeollanam to Gwangju.
잘못 가고 있네.
So
이거
after driving for a few hours, you realize, oh, I'm on the wrong path. Oh,
가고 있어요.
I was going to Gyeonggi-do Gwangju.
내비게이션에요.
In the navigation,
하나만 잘못 펼쳐도요.
even one wrong
방향은 저
mistap, the goal, the direction,
여러분
it can change and it can diverge from your true goal.
목적지를 제대로 해야 됩니다.
You must
저도요.
firmly know your destination, your goal.
서울을 가려고
When I
강주에서 학교를 다녔는데
went to school in Gwangju, but I was going to university and I wanted to go to Seoul.
고속버스 터미널에 갔습니다.
So I went to
고속버스 터미널에 가서
the express bus terminal and I got a
버스 표를.
ticket that goes to Seoul.
제가 서울 가야 되잖아요.
So I have to go to Seoul, right?
그런데 버스를 딱 탔어요.
But I
서울
got on the
버스라고
bus
생각하고 탔는데
thinking it was a bus that going to Seoul.
버스가
But this
서울
bus
가는 게 아니라
was not going to the direction of Seoul,
가는 거예요.
but it was going to another direction. And I was like, oh, this is strange. So I got up.
도로를 달리고 있습니다.
And we're on the road right now.
서울은 오른쪽으로 가야 되는데
Seoul has to go to right, but it's going to the left.
기사님한테
So to the bus driver, I said, bus driver,
이게 서울 가는 버스 아닙니까?
isn't this the bus that goes to Seoul? And he said, no.
부산 가는 거예요.
This is going to Busan,
부산 가는 거래요.
which is the very bottom of the Korean Peninsula, for your information.
깜짝 놀라가지고
So I was
내가
surprised.
잘못 탔네.
I was like, oh, I got on the wrong bus.
기사님 저 내려주세요.
So it's like, please, mister,
내려주세요. 그러니까
let me off the
기사님
bus.
뭐라고 하세요?
And you know what he said?
고속도로에서 어떻게 차를 세웁니까?
How can I stop the bus on a highway?
내립니다.
I can't let you off.
부산까지 가야 됩니다. 그러더라고요.
We gotta go all the way to Busan.
아이고, 아이, 기사님 여기서 내릴 수 있잖아요. 그
I was like,
길 가에다가
you could just put me off the side, right?
내려주세요.
Just get me off on the side. And he said, no,
도로에서는 길가에서 도저히 못 세운다고.
you cannot stop on a highway.
그냥 부산까지 가시죠.
And he just said, let's just go to Busan.
부산에서 서울 가라는 거예요.
He's telling me to go to Busan and then go to Seoul.
부산이 3시간 4시간 걸립니다.
So from Gwangju to Busan, it takes 3 or 4 hours. And I have to go to Seoul and I'm going to Busan.
아이고.
Oh my gosh.
그러니까 내릴 수도 없고.
So I couldn't get off the bus.
3시간 이상 가는데
So sitting on the bus for about 3 hours,
그때는 무슨 핸드폰도 있는 것도 아니고.
and at the time,
전화기밖에 없잖아요.
there was no
친구가 지금 기다리고 있을 건데.
smartphones, and my friend was waiting at Seoul.
얼마나 마음이 복잡한지 몰랐어요.
So how complex, what was going through my mind? It was a lot.
잘못하면
So even
벌어져요.
riding one wrong bus, these things happen. So, without having a choice, we went to Busan. I went to Busan and slept there. And the next day, I was able to go to Seoul.
여러분, 버스 하나 잘못한데도 인생이 이렇게 차이 나버립니다.
So your life changes this much, even riding one wrong bus. But the astonishing thing is,
버스 하나가
the one bus that goes in Seoul,
사고가 났대요.
it was in a car accident.
큰 대형 사고가 났대요.
A big accident. Oh my gosh.
그 버스가
Wome.
그
That
버스가
bus,
내가 타는 버스가 사고가 난 거예요.
the bus that I was gonna ride was in an accident.
내가 죽었을지도 몰라.
If I was in that bus, I might have died.
하늘은
But Heavenly Parents
버스를 타게 만든 거예요.
made me ride a bus that goes to Busan. How interesting is this?
여러분은요 통일교회
Ladies and gentlemen,
가정연합
you
버스를 잘 탔습니다.
are on the right bus, the Unification Church, the Family Federation.
아버님이 운전수입니다. 지금
And the bus driver is true father. It is true mother.
이 버스를 우리는 정말로 천국 가는 여행 버스.
This bus is a bus that is going to heaven.
여기 계신 여러분들입니다.
And you are all the passengers. How happy you are. True father, true mother is driving. Do you think they'll get the direction wrong? Do you think they will drive it to hell? They will take you to the safe place. They will guide us and drive us to heaven. Let us offer a great round of applause to our true parents. So, when a man or a human lives his life, direction is important. Where am I going right now? Am I going to Busan or am I going to Seoul? I want to live my life well. I have to go to Seoul. I can't go to Busan, right? Ladies and gentlemen, the heavenly principle of life is true love. And I said true love starts from the objective partner. And that is the direction. Living for yourself, that is not the right direction of life. Studying diligently, working diligently, that is not for yourself. In the end, who is it for? It is for your partner. It is for others. So working for yourself, that will come to an end. Humanity doesn't want that. Heaven doesn't want that. Me working now, it's not working for yourself, but working for others. Working for your partner. Not centered on yourself, but centered on you, centered on the objective partners. This is the principle of true love. So those who live for themselves, later, when time goes on, their lives are empty. Making money for yourself, no one respects that man or person. Making money, a lot of money, and being able to give that out to people in need, people say that, that is a respectable person. In America, a place of freedom, they don't compliment those who have a lot of money. Bill Gates, Tesla, Warren Buffett, these rich people, even though they have huge amounts of money, they don't use it for themselves. They use it for the country, America, for the community. They invest everything. That is why they were receiving respect. Same with us. Same with true parents. Why do we respect true parents? So since I'm the Messiah, you have to worship me. Is that why you must obey me? Is that why we respect them? No. It's because true parents know the essence of true love, and they try to invest themselves, give everything they have, 100% investment. Everything they had, not just for the Korean Peninsula, but for the entire world. They invested themselves completely. That is our true parents. If we are true children, then we must resemble our true parents.
부모님은 참부모님 대로.
True parents like true parents their own way, but I must live my own way.
뭐 때문에 우리 가정연합 통일교를 들어왔습니까?
For what are you a part of this family federation?
들어온 것이 아니에요.
We did not enter or are not part of this family federation because of that.
희생이란 말이 필요한 것입니다.
So we need the word sacrifice.
남을 위해 살다 보니까
Living
내가
for others,
희생을 해야 되는 거예요.
you have to
성례
sacrifice.
역사의 가장 중요한 테마가 뭐냐?
In the historical providence history, the most important word is the word sacrifice. Sacrifice is what did everything. So even saving a nation, that follows sacrifice. Even saving a family, that also follows sacrifice. You cannot save your children without sacrifice. The theme of sacrifice, how great a word sacrifice is.
우리에게 투입한 그 희생은
So,
말로 다 표현할 수가 없습니다.
the sacrifices that true parents made for us, it is unfathomable.
한마디 말해서 참 부모님은 고생의 왕초예요, 왕초. 여러분 고생을 좋아하는 사람 있습니까?
So true parents are the king and queen of pain. Do people like pain? No, no one does. But without overcoming this pain, you cannot find the word happiness in this fallen world. So what is pain?
빛나는 별처럼요.
Like a shining star,
별처럼 이 고생이
this pain,
빛나는 별하고 똑같아요.
it's the same as a shining star.
고생을 하면 할수록
The more we experience pain and work, the star shines brighter. Those who know pain,
여러분 어느 쪽이
those who go through pain,
성공한다고 봅니까?
who do you think succeeds? Those who goes through pain and those who don't.
그렇잖아요.
Who achieves success?
사람이 성공한 사람 있습니까?
Are there anyone who achieves success who don't work
자기 아버지가
and don't go through pain? Those who do succeed,
뭐
quote unquote,
할지 모르겠습니다.
they are inherited honor and money from their parents, but I'm not sure if they sacrifice with they're satisfied with their own lives.
오히려 부모한테 재산 많이 물려받고
So no one says you succeeded just because you inherited the honor and money of your family.
올바로 사는 사람이
And those people
있기도 하겠지.
are not living correctly. Of course, there are those people in this world, but very rare. And most of them fail.
내가 고생해서 내가 노력해서
So you must think, I must work, and I must go through pains,
행복이란 것은요. 성공이란 것은요.
and only then the happiness you feel, it is very stimulating. And Heavenly Parent knew this, and true parents knew this.
피하라고 하지 않는 것입니다.
So that's why true parents
우리 교회의 원리는
say not to avoid
원래
pain.
제대로 돌아가려면
In our pain, there's no just principle of restoration. It is restoration through indemnity. And this indemnity, in other words, is pain. So indemnity equals pain. So our unification family achieves restoration through indemnity, through pain. And this pain
우리 주위에서 보십시오.
is very important. So look around you. Those who go through much pain, they succeed. Those who do not go through pain succeed. So those who study all night, they get straight A's and they get perfect scores. Not those who, doze off and are lazy. So the greatest gift that true parents gave us this year, it is the 천심원. So centering on the 천심원, shouldn't we work with our lives? True mother said, 천심원 is most important. With 천심원, nothing is insurmountable. 천심원 is the master key to everything. So we must have faith in those words and act accordingly. And saying, oh, I'm tired because I did vigil devotion 10 to 1. Or I'm working in the morning. Or because my physical body is exhausted, I can't. Because physically exhausted, you must come and offer devotion to gain strength. To 천심원 devotion, how much is your body and mind cleansed? So the more you work or more exhausted you are, should you offer 천심원 devotion? Yes or no? You should. And the more your body is exhausted and you offer visual devotion and 천심원 devotion, the more revelations you receive, the more realizations you receive. Then all the fatigue of that day disappears. Hallelujah. Even you here today, I believe you came here because you know what I mean. You must not go alone. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot achieve success if you go alone. You must go together. So if you offer a visual devotion, not just yourself, but you must invite those around you. So doing it all week, 5 days a week, if that's difficult, you should at least all come together on Friday. And there are there's too many members who don't offer visual devotion, not even once a week. So what does this mean? Doesn't that mean you're ignoring True Mother's word? So ignoring True Mother is basically saying, so my life is meaning, and I don't care about what Heavenly Parent says. What are you? Is that a unification member? Is that a second generation? You must bring all those people around you here. Hallelujah. Ladies and gentlemen, we must go together. There is this Sunda Singh from India, and he was born in a Hindu family. But one day, offering devotion, Jesus appeared before him. Buddha was supposed to appear before him, as he's Indian, but Jesus came, and so he was very shocked. So he, after meeting Jesus, said he will be a representative of Jesus, and he went out witnessing. So walking the Himalayas, barefooted, they found him dying of cold. So since he can't die like Jesus, like Jesus, I will walk this path of witnessing despite receiving pain. So how cold it is going up the Himalayas, it's like negative 30 degrees Celsius. So he went over the Himalayas barefooted and went to Nepal to witness. And one day, in a blizzard, he was walking in a Tibetan with a Tibetan companion, and he saw a person dying, freezing. So this Tibetan, he said, Sunda Singh said to his Tibetan companion, and they pointed that this man is going to die. So we have to put him on our backs and save him. So what the Tibetan said was, I feel like I'm gonna die walking by myself, but how do we bring this person? If we bring this person, then we will all die. We should just leave this person and hurry up and get to our destination. Our Sunda, who received the message from Jesus, said, we can't do that. He's still alive. We must take him. So he put this freezing person on his back, and he would fall down time to time and keep going. So what came to his mind was, if I continue like this, perhaps we'll both die. And what my Tibetan companion said, perhaps it was right. So he started to think, I can't just leave him. So until the end, he keeps on walking. But suddenly, this dying person, because they were together, their body temperatures sort of heated each other up. So the man
살려주는 사람 얼마나
who was
고마웠겠어요.
freezing and dying, he came to life.
얼마나
A dying man
그러니까 둘이가 힘을
is now alive. So how happy were they? So until the end, they were determined
눈밭에 넘어져 있습니다.
to reach their destination. But going, they see another person who collapsed and freezing to death. And so Sunda said, we have to go and save him. So he went to that person, and who that person is, it was his Tibetan companion who said that they would die if they take that first freezing man on his back. It was his first companion. So he said, those who try to live for themselves die like this. When I picked this man up and tried to save him, we both lived. So Sunda here received a very profound realization. Those who live for themselves, those people will surely die. Those who live for others will surely live. He had this realization. So Sunda Shin, he's called a holy man in India. So in India, they don't call Jesus only holy man, but they also call Sunda Shin a holy man because they want to live like him. This Sunda Shin walked snowy paths with barefoot just to witness. And he said we can only understand Jesus' heart if we do 40-day fasts. So walking his life on snow with barefoot, and witnessing, that is his life. So Mr. Sunda is saying this: those who live for themselves will surely die. No matter how difficult it is, if you go together, then you can live together. Aju, hallelujah. Our family federation, our united family, we must move together. Other members, second generations who are struggling, we must save them. If you're just spectators, you will die. This life of our true parents, how mighty and great their life was. We must live like true parents. We must live an organization, life of organization, our coexistence, co-prosperity, and common cause. These are the last words, I believe, of the divine principle. So an age of coexistence, co-prosperity, and common cause, an age of these qualities will come. Not a world where we live alone, but a world where we live together. And this is our great family federation, Unification Church. So I taught you about how we should live. I hope you engrave these in your heart and go back to your respected places and check if there's anyone around you, like the freezing people dying in front of Sunda Shin. In Korea and Japan, there are people who are struggling a lot, even our Unification family members. We must find them. So every night, we must offer Cheonshimon devotion. We must think of it. Our church must tie everyone together worldwide through this Cheonshimon devotion. So, without losing sight of what we learned, everyone in the 1717th Weekend Workshop, I hope everything you wish for comes true.